What's up, everybody? It's been a minute, but I'm back with a new review for a new movie. I went and saw Halloween Kills today. Um, Now, the movie's been out for about a couple days now, so I've seen a couple like small reviews on it, nothing major. I've mostly just heard mixed reviews, really, between people saying that it's boring, people saying that it's underwhelming. There's been here and there things about it being good, about it being bad. Just a mix up of different opinions on it. It seems like. Um, Before I get into the review, really quick, I just want to say if you haven't seen the 2018 Halloween, the one that pretty much is like about Jamie Lee Curtis 40 years from the first one, then I recommend watching that probably right away before you watch this review or before you watch the new Halloween, to be honest. But I will say you don't have to watch the OG, the one back in the 70s or whatever, if you don't want to. It would help with this movie, especially if you did. But it's not a big deal if you don't. You'll still know what's going on at least. It's a fucking Michael Myers movie, for God's sakes. Um, I'm just gonna start it off right now. I thought this movie was awesome. I thought it was really good. It wasn't scary. I would say there weren't any like crazy like jump scares going on in the movie. They tried sometimes, but they weren't that good when it came to that. But I'm genuinely a person that can't stand jump scares. I think they're cheap. They did a good job at not really causing much problems for me. What was crazy about this movie was the gore. The gore in this movie was top notch. My joint went out. Thanks a lot. The gore was top notch though. From Michael Myers putting a fucking axe through somebody's face to him gouging eyeballs out. There were some brutal ass kills in this movie, and it makes the movie so fun. This time around, Michael Myers is definitely more conscious, whatever, of what he's doing. You could tell he's almost like enjoying it more. It's almost a little more sadistic, I would say. Something I really liked about the OG one, like the first one, not the OG, but the one in 2018 was I love the camera shots. I love how there were moments where it would do a one shot take of him just walking through a house, cutting people up and then leaving the house. I thought that was cool. They didn't have that much in this one, but I think a lot of what this movie did made up for just any type of, I don't know, boring parts in this one, to be honest. Like there were parts in this Halloween movie and Halloween Kills that were a little stale, a little boring sometimes. The characters seemed a little stupid. But it is what it is. With that being said, there were also characters in the movie that were very, very aware of what's going on. If you don't know much about this movie, it's pretty much about all the survivors of Michael Myers in the town that he is pretty much going through. Over the last 40 years, these people come back together and they decide after the first movie that they're going to fight back. They're going to finally finish Michael Myers off once and for all. You can only imagine how that goes, to be honest with you. I love the idea. I love the whole town standing up against him. They really pushed the whole evil dies tonight thing. They said it like 50 times in the movie. Gets a little cheesy sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal. I will say from the start to finish, this movie was brutal. There was a lot of brutal scenes. They went from brutal kill to some talking, brutal kill to some talking, brutal kill to some talking, and it did it really well. It transitioned between the two very well. Like I said, the main gripes I had with it were some of the characters just acted a little stupid sometimes. But you're watching one of these kind of scary movies. You're gonna get some dumbass characters. It's just gonna happen. I like this movie all in all. I don't want to say a lot about it. Mainly, like always, I don't really want to spoil it. But something that people are confused about. A lot of people are giving this movie bad rep because they thought the ending was stupid. The ending's not stupid. You're stupid. That's all I can say. It's a three-parter. It's going to be a three-parter. They said it was a three-parter since before the first one came out. It goes Halloween, Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is going to take place next year. It's going to come out next year. I don't know if it'll take place next year, but the way it seems like it's going to take place next year. So just be aware that when you watch this movie, it's going to end a little weird. It's going to end on a little cliffhanger. You know what I mean? Like Everybody thinks they're trying to just keep it going for the money. Of course, that's what they're trying to do, but they already pre-planned this. They already knew what they were going to do with this. So people going into this one thinking that it's the last Halloween movie, you're crazy. That was my biggest gripe is people are complaining about that, it seems. That's not the case here. You know, it is a trilogy. There is going to be a third movie, so don't expect anything. You know, this is a middle movie. This is a sequel. This is literally the movie in between the beginning and the end. So it's going to have a little bit of some stretched out moments. You know, it's going to do that, and it's not that bad. It's only an hour and 40 something minutes long. It's pretty short. It kept me entertained the entire time. Majority of the characters were pretty funny. Specifically, there was two characters, Little John and Big John. There were a couple gay guys actually, and they were absolutely fantastic. They were funny as hell. I love the atmosphere they brought to the movie. I loved just everything they did in the movie. I thought was really funny. They're not in it a lot, but when they are in it, it's a good time. The movie did good at bringing suspense, I will say. Normally Halloween movies don't really like scare me all that much. They don't really like, you know, like they don't get me, you know, like as much as like, I don't know. I feel like Friday the 13th has more scares in it for me, but they're all the same in the long run, to be honest. Just one guy killing everybody. This movie though, with how brutal Michael Myers was, with how just like insane the kills were, I was a little more scared of him. I was definitely in the theater thinking this guy's a fucking demon, dude. Like he's something else, man. Like, and they really pushed that home about him being actually like, I don't think he's human, to be honest with you. And you know, that's something that throughout the 80s and, you know, all the old movies, everybody always said like, you know, how does he keep coming back? You burned him alive. You shot him in the fucking head. How does he keep coming back? Not only for the sake of making another movie, they got to bring him back, but he's a fucking demon, bro. Like, that's just how he is, you know, and like they did a really good job at pretty much pushing that in this movie, and they made it make sense really well. Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie, she's not really in the movie that much. She is, but she's injured from the movie before, so she's not as in the movie as you would probably expect being a Halloween fan, but her input's good. It's worth being there. She's gonna have a major role in the next one, I would say. Obviously, you got to see how the movie ends and everything to really get those vibes from it, like I do. Like I said, I'm not trying to spoil the movie too much. Something I wanted to mention before I end the video and before I score it and everything, just something I forgot to mention, that, you know, you sit down and you think of a movie a little longer after you do an initial review. That's kind of what I'm going into on my scores now, is I'm trying to not make them so one-sided all the time, or like such a high number or such a low number. I just want to do a certain scale. So something I was thinking about is how much the movie itself showed how affected the victims are by it. Like, not only the people that get their fucking heads beaten to death and shit like that in the movie, but like the family of the victims in the movie. They seem to genuinely have a lot of like pent up horror, like resentment from it. And it's really nice to see that relate to just like everything that's going on in the movie, like just like how Michael Myers is loose and he's brutalizing these people still in this town, and just how like these people want to come together to stop him. I thought that was they did a really good job at focusing on that. Yeah, I just wanted to edit that in there really quick just in case, you know, I didn't want that to be left out. And by the way, you're not stupid if you thought that you know, it wasn't a trilogy. If you didn't know, you didn't know, but it's a trilogy. There's so little movies that can be the perfect movie. I'm just going to start giving these like like, I don't know. I'm going to start with this one being like a great to horrible, you know, type of standard. And I'll just give my opinion on whether you should see it in theaters or not, pretty much. By the way, the movie does stream on Peacock. If you have Peacock, it's like $5 a month or something like that. It's on there. I went and saw it in theaters though, and it was a good time. It was a really good time in theaters. It was worth seeing. I think scary movies are always worth seeing in theaters, to be honest. I'm going to give this movie a really good rating. I think it's really good. I think it's a good sequel. It's a good sequel to the original movie. And I thought the 2018 Halloween was really good. I really liked that one. This one upped the ante. It was more brutal. The characters were a little stupid, but that's okay. It was just, you could feel the fear. You know, you could feel the fear in the hearts of all the characters. There were a couple moments in the movie where it kind of slowed down, and specifically the hospital scene where there's like a crowd of people. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the movie. It's a little slow and it's a little bit, I don't know, it's just kind of a waste of time, to be honest with you. But after that, the movie gets pretty great. Even before that, the movie's pretty good. It's really just that in the middle there where it's at like the hour, 20-minute mark where it gets really slowed down for no reason. But padding is padding. You know, you got to do what you got to do. I think this movie's really good, though. I'm just giving it a really good rating. I think you'll enjoy this movie if you see it in theaters. I think you'll enjoy watching it at home. It's got great music, great atmosphere. It ties the movies together really well, I thought. Like I said, only really big gripe is sometimes the dialogue gets a little stupid and cheesy. Sometimes the characters get a little stupid and cheesy. But for what you're there to see, you're there to see Michael Myers killing people. And oh my fucking God, he fucking kills people, man. He kills so many fucking people. It's ridiculous. He is out of this world. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I appreciate it. I know this one was a little different. I didn't do like the traditional rating system, which I'm just going to have to start getting used to because when you see movies at different times in your life, you change your perspective on things. So I don't want to be too hard on movies anymore. I don't want to be too gracious to them either, you know. But the next movie we're going to be doing is most likely The Last Duel, which I'm going to see tomorrow. Very excited for that movie. So I'm hoping it's good. I'm trying to go into movies with low expectations nowadays because normally going to the theater sucks in my town. But I have good feeling about The Last Duel. Another one I need to do a review on is No Time to Die. That one's going to be coming soon. I'm probably going to record that in a little bit here. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like the video, share it around, maybe touch yourself to it, whatever you want to do, whatever you're into.